Over the last several years, I've gotten into the habit of sharing with people who are looking for a nice religious experience or a good religion to follow that Christianity is like the absolute worst religion. It's a terrible religion. And I get this kind of weird look that they give me when I say that, like, wait a minute, what are you saying? I'm looking for a religion and you're supposed to represent, this Christianity thing, and you're telling me it's a terrible religion. Yeah, it's the worst religion. Listen, the rules are ambiguous. I mean, they just are. And most people who want a religion want clear-cut, defined rules. Like, here's the rules. Here's how you know if you're doing good or you're doing bad. Also, you want to know how you compare to everybody else. Like, what's the ranking system here? Where do I fit in the pecking order and in the hierarchy? Christianity's not about that. Christianity's not a religion at all. It's about a relationship with a God. It's about family. It's about following Jesus. And when you follow Jesus, the religious kind of mindset doesn't work very well. I mean, you look at Jesus' life. Who was mad at him? Religious people, religious leaders, the experts at religion. They were mad at him. I mean, here's Jesus, the Son of God, the author and perfecter of faith, the one who spoke everything into existence, the one who ordered the world as it is, who understands life and what life is meant to be. And he's walking the earth and he's living the perfect life. And the people who are most mad at him are the religious people because they don't get him. It doesn't make sense to them. They thought that he was wicked. But the reality is Jesus was good. Now, I live in New England, and we have a phrase we use up here, wicked good. And I love that phrase. I love when I moved here 9 years ago that, all of a sudden I felt like I could use it for real for the first time ever because, I'm a New Englander now. Wicked good. Like when something is so good, you can't just say, well, it's good. It's wicked good. Jesus is wicked good. And his followers ought to be wicked good. And what I mean by that is not good in the sense that we're all neatly in line, following the rules and regulations and, religious, followers, but we're followers of Jesus. And the good that we do in him ought to raise some eyebrows, ought to cause some people to take notice and go, wait a minute. You shouldn't be hanging out with those people. And, hey, wait a minute, you shouldn't be talking over there. Or, hey, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Because, see, when you follow Jesus, it blows up religion. And that's what Jesus did. He blew it up like just something as simple as the Sabbath. I mean, you talk about the rules of religion, The Old Testament, one of the 10 Commandments was remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Simple enough, right? One day a week you're supposed to rest. Well, surely we could all do that. But how do you interpret that rule? How do you apply that rule in an ever-changing cultural dynamic? And that's a big job. So like the religious experts had all these extra rules stacked on top of that rule, which really wasn't a rule. It was really a gift where God was like, hey, the Sabbath is a gift for you. I mean, Jesus said, that man was not made for the Sabbath, but Sabbath for man was a gift. And yet they would even use the Sabbath as a way to trap Jesus. Like one time, there was a guy with a shriveled hand, and these religious leaders wanted to see if Jesus would heal this hand on the Sabbath. And Jesus knew the evil in their hearts, and he's like, seriously? He's like, all right, let's do it. And he healed the man. It was wicked good. But the religious people, they couldn't even see it. They couldn't celebrate it. They couldn't rejoice in it. They were so hung up on, this rule of ours has been broken. This man must be wicked. But no, he was good. In fact, he was more than good. He was wicked good. And if you're going to follow him, why don't you be wicked good too? Let's go.